A and alpha B before me. Listen, nothing wrong with being an alpha. We all have strong personalities here today behind the velvet rope, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I mean, I have to ask the obvious question too. I mean, at Chance's birthday, like, I assume, it sounds like Gigi's going to be there. Mike is going to be there. I assume Reza will not be there.
No,
Not
there's
yet.
still a restraining order, dude. So,
Hopefully
like,
soon though.
but
Hopefully-
yeah, whatever.
Hopefully the next one.
Yeah, hopefully they got squared away.
Yeah. We
And
hope it,
So Reza hasn't met Baby Shams yet.
not yet, but hopefully, we're going in the right direction for that to become a thing of the past. Yeah. So we're like, I have high hopes. And we've been taking already some really positive steps forward.
That's good. Do you think, I mean, you could say this about any of these relationships. Do you think, like Reza in particular, or these other relationships, like if it wasn't for the show, look, it's a reality show. We see breakups and, fighting and friends that, Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle and Jill Zarin and Bethany. Like, do you think if it wasn't for the show, the relationship with Reza or even some of these other people would be different?
Yes, that's the, no matter how you cross it, it's always gonna, yes, if you're putting everything out there in a public eye, yes, things are going to be different.
Well,
When Chris Rock made his joke about Will Smith or Jada in a room full of people, I don't think anything would have happened. You know what I mean? But he did it on a big forum for the whole world to see. It changes the argument. Yes.
Oh, that's
Good, bad, however you want to slice it, it's going to change the outcome or the argument. No one's just going to be like, yeah, all right, it's cool. You just said that in front of 10 million people. Don't sweat it. You know what I mean? It's going to change things.
So
And it
you're
could be a
saying-
positive thing. You know what I mean? You could say something about someone's business, for example, and it explodes their business. You know what I mean? And now they're indebted to you forever when otherwise you would have just been one of their customers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It changes the dynamic, no matter how you slice it. It does. That's why it exists.
Yeah,
Right.
I would agree with that. But you have no regrets from doing the show or anything.
Wait, the question that you asked were, if certain things happen on a reality show, would they be different if they didn't take place on a reality show, right?
Yeah, like if you were, like, say there was no Ryan Seacrest that approached you with a sizzle reel and here we go, and it's 9 years, like just say there was no show. Would some of these friendships be different?
Reza and I would be friends without a hiccup if there was no show, because we were already friends for so many years before. And I think that
Well, some of these other shows, the only reason that they are friends is because of the show. So it makes things a lot
Yes,
easier to cut and
yes.
like move.
some
to
people,
move
the shows unite them.
Yeah,
But like, for instance, with Kyle and LVP, like, I think LVP, looking back, would have done things differently, showed up to the reunion and continued a friendship and stayed on the show.
Yeah.
You know what, like, friends are, when you have a friend that you're in a season with, the season word applies to people that are in the real world, not people that are on TV. A season means that you have enough like things in common that it makes sense for you to prioritize certain friends in your life, because you're supporting each other in a way that's productive for both of you. Like why new moms gravitate toward each other. So, or like team members or people who work together. So that's a really normal human thing for people to gravitate toward each other because of the real life circumstances, whether you share a show or a different kind of a job or hobby.
That's true. Do you have any regrets from all of these 9 seasons on the show? Regret doing the show? Anything like that? I'm not saying you should. I'm just curious.
Yeah, there's definitely things that I would have wanted to redo. Like you watch yourself back and you're like, oh, I wish this and that. But like overall, the positives are like being a positive, open woman with, sharing fertility, sharing dating strife, sharing your mom dynamic, sharing your body in front of a camera when you're not a size 00 and your, egg count for the first time, and all of those positive things are great. And then do you have egg on your face? 100%, of course you do. But that's, you know, that comes with it.
That's a question really for her, not for me, because I didn't seek reality TV. It found me, and it found me because of her. So how could I have any regrets? I have a beautiful wife that I love very much, and I have a kid. You know what I mean? So I don't have any, like it's her world. This is her thing. You know what I mean? So if she was a pilot, I would be on a plane. You know what I'm saying? So
I will say that I regret on behalf of Reza and Tommy the horrible incident that happened 3 years ago. And that's the obvious one. And that's for both of them. So, and my wrongdoing in that as well, because I obviously, we're all guilty. Every single one of us made a mistake, even our friends, everyone could have, done things to make things worse. And I'm sure they did. And they could have done things to make things better, which we all failed to do. So that's the obvious one. That's the one thing that I wish we could have done, redone or erased or gone back in time. And if, the Back to the Future guy was here, that would be the one DeLorean ride I would want to take.
Well, just one is not, that's not bad. And, I think like to your point, you have been so open and honest about, like you're showing your body and just everything, your fertility, like you've never, does it frustrate you? Like either like, not even Shahs, like you watch all these shows, like you could tell, I mean, I could tell, this is what I do for a living, when like people are dialing it in and, we're getting the surface. I mean, we see that that's not you. You're so open and honest. Like, does that bother you when you watch these other shows and you're like, God, this person's telling us nothing about the real them?
Not to speak for her, but it bothers the hell out of me. It definitely does. Because you're right. And I'm not even that big a fan, but I can tell, you know what I mean? And yes, it's something that I take offense to.
We'll see something and he'll be like, that's just produced bullshit, whatever it is. And obviously The Bachelor has to be a produced show, so there are some that are still entertaining and they still are produced more, but it rubs me a little when I see someone rip off of something I did, but it's also flattering. So like we are super OGs on a lot of things that we did, getting enemas, getting all kinds of anal bleaching and all kinds of other fun things that, you saw Scrotox here first, guys.
That is true. Well, I mean, the obvious question is, as people want to know, come on, Shah's season 10, what is going on?
I know. So you obviously know that Bravo has to announce everything, but if I said